Hello, I'm Karina.
And I'm Jamie. Welcome to As Told by ADHD. This podcast is a brainchild of two best friends with ADHD who share a passion for learning and a knack for finding the most fascinating tidbits of knowledge.
Each week, we embark on a wild and hilarious journey of discovery as we dive headfirst into topics that pique our curiosity. From dark folklore to bizarre statistics, cultural ceremonies to famous dead people, we're here to entertain, educate, and tickle your funny bone.
This week on As Told by ADHD, I'm bringing you part 4 of our little mini-series, and I'm going to be talking about Anne of Cleves, the 4th wife of King Henry VIII.
I can't believe we're already over halfway.
I mean,
I'm
technically,
so sad.
yes. But I'm so excited. I'm excited to tell you this one. Because it's... Okay, so this one is sad, but also the best possible outcome, in my opinion,
Okay.
of being one of his wives. Like...
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to know how everything transpired, please and thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to jump right into it. Any thoughts, questions, or concerns before we start?
I don't. I am coming as an open canvas because what we have learned so far, because all of our topics, we kind of like know something of it, but we never like dove really into it unless it's just one of those things that are literally keeping us up at night. So I'm going to take everything that I have heard and whatever and throwing it out because we've already learned so much about these queens that we didn't know before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and just it's all about perspective too. I've learned with these queens, because like from the perspective of Queen Catherine of Aragon, Queen Anne Boleyn, bad. From the perspective of Anne Boleyn, she wasn't bad at all. Like, and she got thrown under the bus. So the only bad people here so far, are the people whispering in the king's ear. Thomas Cromwell, which we'll get a juicy little tidbit about that later.
And the Seymour brothers.
And the Seymour brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Edward
also
and
King
Thomas.
Henry himself, because he is progressively getting more and more unhinged.
And Nicholas Carew. His name keeps popping up. They're not saying that he's
Mhm.
snaky, but I believe that he's snaky, so.
So, let's talk about Anna von Jülich-Kleve-Berg. She was born in 1515 in Dusseldorf, Germany. I apologize for any of my pronunciations if they're incorrect. If they're correct, then hell yeah, good for me. But if not, ignore it.
No, she has a heck of a last name, so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's a last name. I'm not sure, like...
Oh, it's like
because that's like
her house or of her lands? Okay.
So, like, it's basically Anne of Cleves, but, like, Anne of Jülich-Kleve-Berg. Is like 3 different places. I'm about to, like, get into it a little bit.
Okay.
So, her father was John III, Duke of Cleves, or I also heard it pronounced Jan III, Duke of Cleves. I'm not sure which one it was, but I heard both. He governed the land of Cleves, which is like a little territory in Germany at this time. Her mother, Maria of Jülich-Berg, Duchess of Jülich, Duchess of Berg, and Countess of Ravensburg.
Wow.
Yeah, so she is prominent. We love her.
3.
Right. Germany at this time was pretty different from most of the rest of Europe, where women were kind of like allowed to do things that men did. Like, women were not pushed out. They were not looked down upon. And if there was no man, it would just automatically go to the firstborn child.
Really?
Yeah. So that's what happened with Maria. So she ended up getting married in 1510. And then at some point her father died, and she was the sole heir of these territories. She had no other siblings. So she got everything. And because her husband had Cleves, they merged them and they became one big territory. And it was a massive amount of territory.
That's so interesting that they also only had one child when everybody we've ever told about tried to pop out as much children, like as many children as humanly possible. That's crazy. But go ahead, please.
After her father's death, she took over. They merged all of the lands and it became Jülich-Kleve-Berg, which is why Anna von Jülich-Kleve-Berg, that's her title.
Gotcha. Okay.
These lovebirds, that it was an arranged marriage, so we're not sure if they like truly love each other or not, but like these lovebirds had 4 children. Anna was the second born, aka Anne of Cleves. So she ends up changing her name later when she moves to England, and it becomes Anne instead of Anna, or Anna, whichever one she went by. But I'm gonna be interchanging the two because her birth given name was Anna. She had an older sister, Sibylla, who was very, very close with Anne. Like they were like 2 peas in a pod. And then Anna, aka Anne of Cleves, was second born. Then they had William. And then finally they had Amalia. And because the territory was so large, Maria and Jan had to divide and conquer, basically, to like effectively rule these lands, govern these lands properly. Because it was just way too much. So they had like separate estates, and the mother ended up taking all the girls to one estate and the father took the son to another estate just to kind of teach them what they did. So that was basically their education. So Anne was taught how to read and write in German. She was likely taught finances, property laws, mediation, how to run large estates. And on top of that, she learned household management because Germany also, the nobility in Germany, was very different from the rest of Europe. Instead of having servants do everything for you, in Germany, you did it yourself. Like, you cooked your own meals, you cleaned up after yourself. So, like, it was very different from the rest of Europe. So, like, the lifestyle that Anne Boleyn was living and Catherine of Aragon was living, completely different.
That's so crazy because they're not that far away from each other.
I mean, but also, like, relatively from that era, not having, like, a fast way to travel. Like, now it's not that far. But, like, it would take weeks, maybe even a month to get somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So, when her sister was 15, Sibylla married Prince Jan Friedrich. He was the Elector of Saxony. So, like, the way that Germany ran was a lot different than the way that most other places ran. So instead of having, like, one line of succession, there was multiple, and then there was, like, these people who would come together and be like, hey, we're going to elect this person this time. This person seems the most fit to run the country. So it wasn't, like, a complete democratic thing, but it was a step towards that.
So not just like one royal family ruled for like centuries.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So obviously Sibylla moved out to live with her new husband. And Anne at this time was 11. So her best friend moved away and she was pretty sad about it. But they stayed very close with letters. So they would like send each other letters all the time. Anne's mother was a devout Catholic. Anne's father was kind of known to be Catholic, but he was very open-minded to other religions.
Okay.
Like, so he wasn't, like, putting people down or anything like that. He wasn't, like, shoving anything in anybody's throat or anything like that. He was just like, yeah, you believe that? That's cool. The older sister, Sibylla, was likely to be Protestant due to her husband's beliefs. Her brother was very, very, very Catholic. Like, very Catholic.
Devout. Interesting.
And it's kind of strange because he didn't live with his mother, so I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it could just take one mentor, like one person he looked up to, and it's done for you.
Right, but he spent so much time with his father, you would think he'd have the same beliefs. But anyway, and all of this is going to come back later. Like, this is very, like, important to what we know about Anne and what happened to her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Her younger sister ended up being extremely Protestant. So she was like, oh my God, I heard this great stuff. Let me tell you about it to her sisters, which pissed off her brother William. And apparently this made him irate and caused a lot of fights between Amalia and William.
Like religious battles.
It's very divided in their household. So, but like, it seems like we don't know a ton about Anne's beliefs or like exactly what she believed. She seemed very like nonchalant when it comes to religion. Like she wasn't like extreme any direction, but I do believe she was religious. When Anne was 11, she was betrothed to the son of Duke of Lorraine. He was about 9 or 10. They're like, okay, political marriage. This could be good for both of the families, blah, blah, blah. A lot of time passes. Anne turns 18 and the engagement ends up being canceled due to political reasons. So the Duke of Lorraine wanted to align himself with the King of France, who was more Catholic, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I didn't write it down for some reason. But he wanted to like align himself with the King of France versus with the Protestants because they had like huge ties with the Elector of Saxony, who was like in line to be on the throne. So like they were just like, it's not working out. And Anne didn't seem too upset. She was like, okay, chill. Like, I'm fine with that.
Right.
So she just stayed and lived with her mother some more. Around 1538, her father passed away. And this made her and her mother extremely close. And they were already pretty close, but it like pushed them even closer together. Her brother took over all of the land, and rewinding a little bit, so like father dies, but before that happened, all the way back in England, 1537, Jane Seymour dies. So, Henry, devastated. And we talked a little bit about it in the last episode. He retreated from court. He went to a manor somewhere else and stayed for a while. And this is the first time he didn't have a queen waiting in the wings for him. You know, like, this is the first time that he's, like, single.
I will say, too, this is when he started gaining an obtuse amount of weight.
He started gaining weight when he hurt his leg, but I think it got ramped up at this point. Even though Henry was still in mourning, Thomas Cromwell is like, he can't stay single. He needs a queen, blah, blah, blah. What, why? I don't know. Leave the man be. Like, stop meddling. Thomas Cromwell searched far and wide for the most eligible bachelorettes. And he quickly found Anne of Cleves in 1538, around the time that her father died. But he also found several other women as well. And Henry was like, well, I want to see what they look like first. So this is when he sends the famous Hans Holbein, and he's like, go paint all of these women and bring me all of their portraits. So that's what he does. So he goes, paints them, sends the portraits back, and out of like, I think it was like 5 max. I didn't really do too much research into the eligible bachelorettes, but Anne and her sister, Amalia, were both considered, but he ended up choosing Anne.
Wait, how old was Amalia?
She wasn't that much younger, I don't think. I didn't look it up. Anne was about, I think, 22, 23. And I don't think she was too much younger. Maybe like a couple years. I don't know. But anyway, so he ends up choosing Anne of Cleves. He chose her based off of the famous painting of Anne of Cleves. Like, you've seen it. This was not just like a match of like looks, right? It was a political match, because the reason why I think Thomas pushed Henry so hard to get a wife was, one, he was afraid that Henry would lose the throne because he didn't have like a strong backing for the Protestant views he was pushing. He was afraid that somebody Catholic would come in and there would be a coup of some kind. So he wanted somebody who was Protestant to come in to have more of an alliance, so they didn't have to deal with Catholicism or the Pope or the Roman Emperor. Like, they were like, we need more allies, basically. And it was especially good for them because of the Elector of Saxony, because he was such a prominent figure. He was like in line for the throne. They didn't know if he was going to be the king or not, but he was in line for the throne in Germany. And he was also very Protestant. So they were like, yeah, this is great. This is a great match. You think Anne's beautiful. Like, we're doing great stuff. Due to the heated political climate, Cromwell and Henry ended up pushing to rush the wedding. They were like, we gotta get married. We gotta get married now. So Anne's brother was unable to pay the dowry that was like traditional for the king to get. He waived it. He was like, no, you don't have to pay me anything. Just give me her. And so, near the end of 1539, Anne begins her journey at the age of 23 to England. And this would be the last time that she sees anyone in her family, I believe. Like, she leaves and like, because it's so difficult to travel back and forth that like, she's never going to see them again.
That's so sad.
But they did still write letters and they still kept in contact, and her and her sister were still besties.
Okay, that's good.
There were so many people traveling with her. Like, she had an entourage of like hundreds of people traveling with her.
As she should. She's the future queen. Hello?
But it slowed them down, which Henry wasn't a huge fan of, because like there's so many people, like you're going to have to take more breaks. You're going to have to like stop and eat and like spend more time waiting around, because like everybody has their own different paces and stuff like that. So also there was pretty bad weather on the way there. So that slowed them down even more. But then that gave her an opportunity to meet tons of people, especially people that were like dukes of England and duchesses and like all these people that were under Henry's rule.
Question, did she know English?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
She knew a little bit, but not enough at this point to be able to like effectively communicate.
So somebody in her party or peoples in her party had to be able to speak English.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
So she ended up meeting a ton of nobles all throughout England, right? And everybody loved her. They were like, she's so sweet and she's beautiful and she's like angelic and oh my God, she's like, you're going to be so excited to meet her. Like she's so great. And so he's getting all these letters and he's like, I got to meet her. I got to meet her like right now. Like I got to go. Like he's so excited. All the letters that he was getting, they all mentioned like her cheerful demeanor while she traveled. Like she was just like a lovely person inside and out, you know? He was hoping to marry Anne before Christmas, but because of the travel delays, they had to postpone the wedding until January. So he was like, absolutely not. I have to go meet her now. So New Year's Day in 1540, he sets off to meet her. And she's not too far away. I don't think it took him that long to get to her. But he shows up at Rochester Castle disguised. Why? Because he was a hopeless romantic, and he had this dream, okay? He had this dream that he would walk in the room and she would see him and be like, oh my God, you're the man for me. Not knowing it's the king, and fall in love immediately. But Anne was reserved. Anne was very loyal and chill, and like, she had no idea who this stranger was who walked in with 5 other men into her chambers. And she's like, can't speak English. So she's like, I don't know what to do. And he tries to, like, he like kneels down and kisses her hand and tries to give her a gift and tries to give her a hug and like
Trying to sweep her off her feet.
Yeah, trying to sweep her off her feet. She's very polite, but she's clearly uncomfortable because like there is a strange man with 5 other men in her chambers, and she's like, I don't know what to do.
Because she's betrothed, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I got a king. Like, I got a king to go marry. Who are you?
Right.
And like the disguise was like commoner's clothes. So I don't know.
I don't know if she's seen a painting of him, though, or anything.
I don't think she had either. And even if she had at this point, there probably wasn't too many paintings of him with the weight that he's gained.
True.
So, anyway, at this point, she's like, haha, thank you. Okay, bye. And he leaves. He's furious. He's like, I cannot believe this. She's not as beautiful as I thought she was gonna be, and like all like this and that. He comes back like an hour later in his kingly robes, and she's like, oh my God, what have I done? And she like drops to her knees and she's begging for forgiveness. She's like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea it was you. Please forgive me. And they end up having dinner together, and they have breakfast the next morning, and then he sets off ahead of her to go back. Which, like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So he was really, like, not pleased.
He was very upset. And, like, it's just his ego. It's just his ego. Like, if she had been like, oh my God, you're so hot. Like, he'd be like, this is the best wife ever. And you know that. Like, we all know that.
It's also setting her up for failure. That's like me trying to dress up into disguise and then go flirt with my fiance and see if he'll catch the bait. Like,
yeah, like, because, like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because what if she was like, oh my God, you're so hot. And then, like,
but I have, like, a king. What do I do?
Right. Like,
oh, that's getting me stressed. Because just imagine Thomas Cromwell using that to his favor, like, in his favor, like, using that against her later on if... Oh my gosh, there's so many scenarios. She could have been another beheaded.
She could have, but she wasn't. After this little debacle, he travels ahead of her, goes back to his house, home, castle, whatever, and then she follows him. It takes them a little bit longer. They end up getting there, and even though at this point he had told Cromwell, quote, nothing so fair as hath been reported. So, what are your thoughts about that?
He's one to talk because he's not good looking himself, and he's in his 40s, and he's severely overweight, and his leg is stinky.
His leg is stinky.
So, I haven't seen the picture of Anne of Cleves because I've been kind of like sparing myself because I know that he didn't really find her the most attractive. That's kind of like a more common knowledge like thing. I knew he didn't find her super attractive, but I wanted to see what the painting looked like after you told me the story. And regardless, you should know that paintings are exaggerated. Or he was painting the beauty that was within. I'm feeling so many things. He literally pisses me off so bad.
I sent you the picture. I want your reaction.
Yeah. I mean, this is a beautiful picture. She looks like her waist is snatched. Her face is super symmetrical. I mean, it is a very pretty picture of her. She does look really pretty in this picture.
Nothing so fair as hath been reported is what he said. Very mad about it. But like, he said that she was beautiful in the painting that he saw of her. And also, everyone and their mother was like, oh my God, she's beautiful and she's kind. We love her.
Right.
I think it was ego. I think it was fully ego. And he was just having a little baby bitch fit because he technically kind of got rejected.
And he doesn't look good. So he's one to talk.
Anyway, even though he was very reluctant, he went forward with the wedding. And it's believed that he went forward with the wedding because he was politically isolated. So he needed allies. So he tried to make it work. They slept in the same bed. But we are very, very positive that they never consummated the marriage.
Really?
Yes. And we think this because we, as in historians, I'm not a historian. We believe this because even though they slept in the same bed, he called her unappealing and said that he couldn't get it up. So he's impotent. And that's fun. And like, he was fully blaming her, right?
Of course.
He was like, it's not his fault because look at all the kids I've had. I've had a lot of kids and I even have a son. So like, it's not my fault. I definitely can, just not with her because, But like, what most likely, in my opinion, was happening is like, he was like laying next to her and being like, this fucking bitch. She didn't even like me from when we first met. And she's like just letting his ego run wild, you know? It's so dumb. Anyway, also, we believe that they didn't sleep together because Anne was extremely sheltered. And she was speaking with some of her ladies in waiting because she was starting to learn a little English at this point. Not too much, but I think she thought she might be pregnant. And she was like, well, maybe I'm going to have a baby here and it's going to be great. But they were like, okay, what did you do? And they were like, or she was like, oh, he comes to bed, he kisses my hand, and he goes to sleep. We just sleep next to each other. She had no clue what sex was. She had no clue what consummating a marriage was. She thought they just had to sleep in the same bed. And that makes a lot of sense.
You know good and well that mess is documented because they needed to gossip to the nearest, to their family, to like everybody. Yeah.
Right. And it does make sense that it was this way for her because her parents didn't live together. So her parents were never together.
Oh, and if they were, it was probably for like 5, 10, 15 minutes alone, which is enough time for them to be like playing outside. And then all of a sudden, like mom's pregnant.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It makes a lot of sense that she had no clue. And also Catholic, very, very Catholic mother who taught her and raised her. So it's very likely that she never spoke about that with her sister either. Because, like, it would be documented in the letters. And then they never, like, once her sister left to go live with the Elector of Saxony, they didn't really, I don't think they saw each other again.
Yeah, that's
which is really sad. Yeah. Imagine, like, never seeing each other again. I'd be so sad.
Like, that's literally what I thought of. She has sisters. I don't have sister. She is my sister. Like,
I have sisters, but she's my sister.
Yeah, I have no sisters but her. Like, this girl is my sister, like my literal soul sister. So like I literally could not imagine never seeing you again. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'd travel for weeks. I'd fight off bandits.
So, even though they hadn't consummated the marriage, Anne of Cleves wanted to be the perfect wife for the king. Like, she just wanted to be the perfect wife. And, like, she didn't really know anything was wrong with the marriage because, like, they were sleeping in the same bed. So, like, it must be okay. Because, like, she wasn't used to their culture. She wasn't used to their ways of doing things or English court at all. She was extremely agreeable. She was not outspoken in the slightest. She was very kind and very graceful. Henry did not think it was worth the marriage if he couldn't get any. But she was there. She was there and she was ready. But he was like, nah, I can't. She's ugly. But she was probably only ugly to him because she rejected him when they first met. Anyway, so 6 months later, he annulled the marriage. He stated that because they couldn't consummate the marriage, it was void. He also stated because she had been betrothed before, even though nothing ever happened with it, they didn't even live, like they met maybe like twice. He said that made the marriage invalid. The marriage was officially annulled in 1540. Anne did not contest this in the slightest. She was very like, okay. But also, like, there were accounts that when the news was broken to her that the marriage was being annulled, she, like, broke down. She was terrified. Because, like, okay, imagine this. You go to a foreign land. There's been 3 wives before you. First wife, divorced. The second wife was beheaded. The third wife died. And I don't know if you know how she died. Maybe you have like a wild imagination. I don't know. But I do know that she was like, he could kill me for any reason. If I'm not a good wife, he could just kill me. And like,
Yeah,
it's
like, is he
okay.
divorcing me because I'm a bad
Right.
wife? Like, did I do something
Right.
bad?
Right. So it was said she was terrified that she was going to die.
That's so sad.
I know. But that doesn't mean that she was sad about the annulment.
I mean, I wouldn't be sad about it either.
Me either.
It's like, oh, nothing's happening? Okay. Cool. Let's chill.
Right.
What are you going to give me?
Mm-hmm. Another thing was she didn't know the language yet. Like, she's still struggling to, like, get her bearings in this country. It's only been 6 months. She's like, what do I do? Like, and also, I think she was worried about going home because she was afraid that there's no proof to this. This is just rumor, but it was said that her brother might behead her because she's disgraced. But there's no proof to that. It's just a claim that has been, like, stuck through the years. Also, I saw in several places that, like, she was also upset, not because the marriage failed, but because she thought she wasn't a good wife.
Yeah, no, that's what exactly, yeah.
Like, that's all she wanted. She just wanted to be a good
She's so
wife and give
young.
him children. Yeah, she's 23. And this is when Thomas Cromwell's luck runs out. That reaction's perfect. So,
Spill it. Spill it all.
in 1540, Henry needs someone to blame. He's like, Thomas, you set this up. You found her, and then you're the reason I can't get it up. I don't know if he said that, but I don't know if that's true.
I thought it was
but
documented.
No. This is my assumptions. But he's blaming, like, he needs somebody to blame for the failed marriage. And because Anne is being so agreeable, he's like, well, it's not her fault. Like, she's just kind of here. Like, she can't even speak English. So, like, how can I even blame her? Because she doesn't,
And she
I don't know
already
if she knows
has
what's going on.
favor with the people too.
Yeah.
Because rumors spread, yeah. I met her in the woods.
So at this point, Thomas Cromwell gets charged with high treason, heresy, and corruption. There is no trial, and he is beheaded. So let's take a moment to appreciate the ironic justice of all of it. I'm so glad that we were able to make it this far.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. It's giving church. Justice is served. Okay? Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Goodness gracious.
So, after the annulment, because Anne was just so kind and like chill about all of it, she received a huge settlement. Huge. She ended up getting Richmond Palace. She got Hever Castle, which was Anne Boleyn's childhood home. Hate that shit.
Oh.
Which, like, she probably didn't know, but, like, Henry, what the fuck?
That's kind of twisted, I'm not gonna lie.
Right. She also got £500 in annual income, which in that time's crazy. She also would earn revenue from several estates that she had been given. And she was allowed to keep all of her dresses and jewels that were given to her by the king. And that's crazy, because I feel like once you're, like, disgraced, you're, like, sent to a nunnery usually.
Yeah.
So,
No,
like,
you are. And then like, you're stripping your title. It's like super public. It's like a whole, like, yeah, it's a whole disgrace ritual. And then you get exiled. And it's like public decree that you are being exiled. It's a whole thing. Wow.
Well, she ended up writing her family, and she was like, I'm okay, and I'm going to stay here in England. We aren't 100% sure why. There's a couple of theories. Theory one is that Henry still wanted that political tie, and if Anne seemed happy and wanted to stay, then they would still have that political tie. Another reason would be what I said earlier about the rumor about her brother potentially killing her if she came back because she was disgraced. And then there was another reason that is also a rumor that she still wanted to be with the king, and she still wanted to be a wife to the king. So she was like holding out hope. Those are all theories, all rumors. We don't know.
I feel like she's like, I could be really powerful here and not be under my brother there.
Potentially.
You know?
But I also think that, like, she wasn't really the type to, like, want power.
Not necessarily power. She's just like, I'm good here. Like, I don't have to deal with nothing
But
here.
also, okay, also, think about this. This is a reason that I thought of that, like, could be a potential reason why she stayed. She gets there, she's waited on hand and foot, which has never happened before in her life. And she's like, why would I leave? If he's going to give me a palace, he's going to give me a castle, he's going to give me money, and I'm going to be taken care of for the rest of my life. Like, why would I go back? Like, I'm going to have to go do farm work there. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's where I was thinking, potentially. We have no proof of this. We don't know exactly what her thought process was. We do think that Henry was behind the letter because he wanted to keep that political tie. And also, it might have been like a bribe to give her all of that stuff to, like, keep the political alignments. So that's a possibility. Not only did she get a huge settlement, she ended up getting the title of sister to the king. So she was like honored as family to the king.
You know what? She probably, because, I mean, I know she didn't really speak much English, but if he was like aggressive towards her and she was still trying to be like submissive, because at the end of the day, like she did want to be a good wife, like there's evidence of that. Like, what if he was just like, no matter what I'm throwing at you, you're still staying humble, but I'm still just so unattracted to you. Like, I can't do this. Like, I see you as a sister. And then he was just like, I need to like do something.
I think because she took it so gracefully is why he gave her that title. Also because they didn't consummate the marriage, but like he wanted, like, there was like so many reasons. But I also think, and this is just my humble, not professional opinion, I think he felt guilty because he like realized like this could have been a really good queen because I literally being so mean to her. I'm calling her ugly.
Oh, he will. He will feel guilty. He'll be feeling a whole lot of things here soon. So
I think that there was some guilt that he felt towards Anne, which is, yeah. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
and then she accidentally fell into entrepreneurship. She had lands
I
not
know.
only in Germany, but in England. She had
Right. She's
money
having a
money.
great time.
She had pretty dresses. She had her jewels. That girl, I'm jealous. She literally ended up in medieval England, the best possible scenario to fall into, literally fall into.
Absolutely. And we're not even done yet. This is not the end of her story. So, after being given the title, Sister to the King, I'm not sure how she felt about this. There's no documentation. Historians think that she was kind of upset by this because she thought that maybe if he were to ever be single again, she might have a chance. But no evidence backing that. That's just what historians believe. So, she was allowed to attend court. She was allowed to interact and even help raise the king's children. And it was said that she was an amazing stepmother to his children. And she was deeply, deeply loved by Mary and Elizabeth.
Wow. Both of them. There was no favoritism. Jane.
Mm-hmm. Jane. It seemed that she really loved her life in England, but like, who the fuck wouldn't? Like,
I know.
You're over
she
here
was like
milking
literally
cows.
so set. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you come and you're like, you're treated like a princess. You're like, oh my god, this is great.
Like such a calm lifestyle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It says she loved fashion. She loved sports. She loved wine. She even learned to dance, and she would be invited to every single Christmas gathering that the king had.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Why is that cute? Wait, I don't want the king to have a heart, but it's like kind of cute.
Right. And there was one record of like, I think it was a Christmas gathering that Henry was like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. And she stayed up with the kids and with Catherine Howard. And apparently they just danced several dances together, her and Catherine Howard. And they were just having a great time. Like, she's having a great time.
No, Anne of Cleves is definitely a girl's girl. She is a girl's girl through and through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She has no hate in her heart, I don't think.
Embodiment of good.
Eventually, Catherine's fate. There were rumors that she wanted to remarry, but that didn't happen. We don't know. We don't know. No. Catherine died.
Yeah, you said Catherine.
Yeah, I said after Catherine's fate.
Oh,
there were rumors that Anne wanted to remarry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which you'll learn about Catherine's fate in the next episode. So Anne would never marry ever again. Ever. But like, it didn't seem like it bothered her too much. But at this point, I think she gave her ring back. Like, she had her wedding ring this whole time that he was married to Catherine.
Oh.
Soon after Catherine's fate happened, she gave the ring back and asked for it to be broken into pieces because there was no use for it. So this could be like that's why I don't think she wanted to remarry him. I think what she wanted, like, she saw the monster he could be and was like, I'm set here. Like, I'm just
I'm
gonna
staying
fly
away
under the
from
radar.
that, bro. I'm staying far away from that, broski.
Right. Henry would eventually marry Catherine Parr, and Anne was reportedly very, very welcoming to her. And she was also said to have a very, very good relationship with Henry, his whole family, and Catherine Parr. Like, she just was like a really likable person. Like, everybody just vibed with her, you know? In 1547, Henry died, and Prince Edward VI would become King Edward VI. He was only 9 years old. And this would lead to a lot of problems for her. She had some financial troubles because all of the income she was getting was stopped, basically, because the king was giving her, like, Henry was giving her that money, but the people who were kind of puppeting Edward were like, no, why would we do that?
The Seymour brothers.
Yeah. So then she would exchange her larger estates for smaller ones, and by the time the King Edward VI was crowned, he was already kind of indoctrinated into the Protestant religion because Henry wanted his son to be the supreme head of the Church of England. Like, he wanted his son to be like he did not want it to be back to Catholicism. So he got him the best Protestant teachers he could find and blah, 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 right? And this would cause a rift in the family, as we know. And due to political tensions, his sisters, Mary and Elizabeth, stayed out of court. I'm not sure if they were, like, expelled from court or if they chose to stay out of court, but because Anne had such a close relationship with Mary and Elizabeth, she stayed out of court too. She was like, girl, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. She was like, there's, like, no reason, like, all the people that I love aren't there anymore. So, like, why would I go back? And I think this is the point where the Seymour brothers kind of lose everything. I would love to hear that story if you got it.
Yeah, they lose it really, really bad. And I'm just gonna, like, briefly, because I mean, the ongoing cycle is manipulation, schemes for power and stuff like that. But the Queen, Jane Seymour, their sister, Edward and Thomas Seymour's sister, died in 1537 after giving birth to Edward VI, right? The Thomas brothers became the most powerful men in England. After Henry VIII died in 1547, the young, king is Edward VI. Jane's older brother, Edward Seymour, was Lord Protector and ruled the country on Edward VI's behalf. His younger brother, Thomas Seymour, was expected to share the power when he became Lord Protector, but he was, like, pushed aside by Edward, which is really messed up. And Thomas tried to increase his influence by secretly marrying Henry VIII's widow, Catherine Parr. But after Catherine died in 1548, Thomas began trying to win the young king's trust and challenge authority that his brother was trying to have. It was like a whole mess. It was crazy. But in March 1549, Thomas Seymour was taken to Tower Hill and beheaded because he was arrested for treason. The reason he was arrested for treason is because like the challenge that he was trying to push against his brother's authority kind of like alarmed the royal council. So the royal council formed a coup and got him beheaded, Thomas Seymour. So we have all we have left is Edward Seymour. And he remained in power for like a little bit. It wasn't too long, but his government faced rebellions. There was war. The nobles were just like, this guy is not even of like royal blood. What is he trying to do? And in 1549, he lost his position as Lord Protector, and he was imprisoned for treason because they didn't like him. They just were like, this guy's kind of crazy. The people also don't like him. I feel like he wants our court to fall. So we're going to arrest him for treason. And he was arrested, and then they let him go, right? But they still saw him as a threat. But in 1551, Edward was arrested again and accused of plotting against the whole government. And he was convicted of a felony at that point and was executed on Tower Hill in January 1552. So it took a year for like the trial to take place. And so in the end, they were just one lost his head because he was trying to gain more power. The other one lost his head after like trying to hold on to way too much of it, essentially. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, glad that happened.
Mm-hmm. Because power hungry, nasty boys.
Yeah, and it never works out. So just be chill, guys. That's my
just be
advice.
Good people, you know. Like if your moral
people.
compass is just kind of like urging you, like this is naughty, don't do it.
Early 1552. King Edward VI fell ill. And he started to set up what would happen after he died. And he announced that his second cousin, I think second, I don't know if I if I mathed that out correctly, but Lady Jane Grey would be his successor to the throne. And Lady Jane Grey was the granddaughter of Mary Tudor, the sister of King Henry VIII. So I think that's second cousin. Maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
It's believed that he chose her because she was Protestant and he wanted to keep the Protestant values on the throne. So he would not let Mary get the throne. By he, I mean the people who were like manipulating. Because like it wasn't just him. It was like almost all of the Northumberland nobles doing this. I don't know why. They're just crazy. Anyway, so like, why not put Elizabeth on the throne then, right? Because like she's Protestant. So like, why not go to your younger sister who is Protestant?
Those stupid Seymour brothers, I bet. They're just like, they're icky.
No, it was because she was older, less likely to be manipulated because Lady Jane Grey was only 15.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was kind of like they wanted control over the throne, right? The people from Northumberland, like the nobles from Northumberland. It was an aristocratic coup of sorts, right? So Edward died. Lady Jane Grey was proclaimed queen 4 days later. She had no clue. No clue. They did not tell her that she would, like, they were like pushing for her to be queen. The day that Edward died, they like rushed her towards like a castle or a palace near London, and they were like, "You're gonna be queen." And she's like, "Oh my God, no." She did not want this to happen. She was like, "This is bad. I'm 15, 16 years old. Why would I do this?" She apparently was shocked and distraught by this. And also she's married at this point to some other duke or something, and like she's freaking out. Like I would too, because like you've heard what's happened with the other queens. Why would you want that? So this ended up throwing England into chaos, right? So that happened because people assumed things had been patched up with his daughters. And they wanted Mary on the throne because they wanted Catholicism back. So this is like not the noble people. This is like all of the people of England. And yeah. So they were like, what's happening? Why is that happening? Then once the nobles kind of saw the support that Mary, it was like steadily growing. Like everybody was like, yeah, Mary should be, what is happening? Why is Lady Jane? What is happening? They were like, yeah, Mary, definitely Mary and not anybody else. Like they flipped a switch. They were like trying to save their own hides, you know? So 9 days later, right, after the proclamation of Lady Jane as queen, she was deposed. And Mary was proclaimed queen at the age of 37 in 1553. This means Anne is welcomed back at court. Yay!
Because they treated her good. Or she treated them good. Treat them with kindness.
Right. And she was actually participating in Mary's coronation. And she stood right behind Mary's half-sister Elizabeth. And I think they even rode in the same carriage.
Wow.
Like they were like having a great time. They were both really supportive. But it wasn't too long after that Mary became known as Bloody Mary. And she became a brutal ruler to the point of like a lot of deaths, a lot of bad stuff. And I think she started to get paranoid that her sister would try to take the throne from her. So this is when she unofficially expelled Elizabeth from court. I don't think that it was like ever officially like, you can't come back, but like it was like implied like, don't come back here, you know? And not only was Elizabeth expelled, so was Anne, because Anne was known to be Protestant at this point.
And Mary was Catholic.
And she was worried that Anne would choose Elizabeth's side, which is really sad. Because, like, she just wanted to take care of her girls, you know? Like, it wasn't her actual daughters, but, like,
dude.
Yeah. So, around 4 years later, Anne of Cleves ends up passing away in 1557, around the age of 41. And it's suspected that she had cancer, and that's why she died, but there's no, like, proof. But a testament to how much the girls loved her, Mary arranged for Anne to be buried in Westminster Abbey in London, making her the only wife of King Henry VIII to rest inside that historic church. And like I said, she never got married, never had her own children, but those girls were her children. And I'm sure she loved Edward just as much, but she was pushed away by Edward, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really sad.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I think she had a full life, so that's good. Like, for that time. I think that that's really, really good. I hate that she suffered at all.
Right. She's so kind.
Right.
Like, for everybody to just love her.
Mm.
Even, like, the new wives of King Henry VIII.
Right.
Like, that says,
like
that says a lot.
Something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It really, really does.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think? I would love to hear in the comments about, like, what you think about Anne of Cleves. Do you think things could be better for Anne? Do you think that Anne...
I hate that she never fell in love again.
I don't know if she wanted to. Like,
I mean,
think if she really wanted to, she would have. Because she was so loved. Like, everybody adored her. So, if she wanted to, she would have, I think. So, yeah. I love Anne, and I love that she got the best situation that she could out of this. And
True. That's
good
very
for her.
true.
And I
Mhm.
hope that she lived a really happy life with the two girls, like with Mary and
I do
Elizabeth.
too. I do too.
Ugh, and
Yeah, may
dancing
she
with
rest in peace.
Catherine Howard is adorable.
I know. And her
Yeah.
story is really kind of sad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tune in next
But
week.
I hope you guys enjoyed that story.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that you guys have a great week, a great weekend,
Mm-hmm.
a great time. I don't know. It's one of those days. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Yes, please.
If you enjoyed it, if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, or if you have any suggestions for us to do in the future.
Please do. Down in the description, please. Or not in the down in the comment section, please.
And drink your water.
Drink your water.
And do something nice for yourself today, guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
What are you going to do nice for yourself today?
Well, I haven't seen my son in a while. I haven't seen him in about 2 weeks. So I am very ready to see him and cuddle him and hang out with him. That literally is the only thing I can think about at this moment. So that's my nice thing because I can't wait to see him.
Well, I'm excited for you.
What are you going to do?
So I made homemade pasta last night. Was it the best? No. Was it the worst? No. I have leftovers, so I'm going to have that tonight. And I think that's nice for myself because I don't have to cook. And also, it's homemade. And I also made like a homemade beef bolognese sauce to go on top. So
Wow.
she's a chef or whatever.
Seriously, though.
This is where we part ways. And we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
That's like whimsical. That's like giving video game. Like rhymes.
It was giving like Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Goodbye. Okay, I'm gone. No. No.